What is up guys, Arolf here back again with another video, and today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Venom from 2018, Venom himself. So let's get into it. Now I'm taking a look around the packaging. On the top you get Venom right there, on the side a picture of Venom from the live action movie, on the back picture of the figure with a brief description, so pause and pause right there if you want to look and read at those. And same thing on the other side, you get a picture of Venom. On the bottom, UPC scan if you want it. And without further ado, let's get into it. Doing some size comparisons, here is Venom next to a couple of MCU figures, Fox movie figures, and also a couple of comic book characters. You could also head swap the movie and the comic book characters if you want a more better looking body for a comic book Venom. Now taking a look at Venom's accessories here, starting off with the alternative head, which is smiling, which is very nicely sculpted and painted. You can see the glossy black and the glossy white right there in the eyes. Gums are painted all the way through and through, which is nice. Just comparing it to the alternative open mouth one, you can see the eyes are pretty much the exact same sculpt, and that's pretty much what's similar between those two. And you could see very clean on the teeth on mine, which looks very nice, and not on the open mouth, but that's okay. We'll get into that in a bit. But looking at the articulation, the head is on a double ball joint, so it does rotate all the way around. It can look up quite a bit, which is surprising, and downward not that much, because the little peg itself, it's kind of short and it kind of limits the range right there. You could also try half pegging it on the peg itself so you can get more range, but that's pretty much it. But other than that, he has the tilty shifty head movement like so you can get a little sass off of him. And lastly, for his accessories, you get a pair of fists right here, which is kind of a grayish blue color, and you can see those are actually digitally printed on the hand and sculpted as well, which looks very nice. And just the usual articulation that you get is the hinge. It does rotate all the way around, up and down, and that's pretty much it. So, taking a closer look at Venom here, starting off with that beautiful head sculpt. I mean, they really captured the likeness of Venom in this figure form. Even the body mold is just amazing. There are some texturing details throughout and a few paint details here. You can see that little grayish blue veins going on through the figure. But looking at the head sculpt itself, the teeth are sculpted in and painted awfully by Hasbro, but that's okay, it's expected. The tongue is sculpted as well, which is surprising, and you can see the jaws made out of a soft rubbery plastic and attached at the bottom right there. Looking at the torso here and the arms itself, they actually sculpted the little hinges themselves, so when you bend it out at a 90-degree angle, you can see it kind of lines up with that little hinge and it kind of forms a seamless look. So that's pretty interesting. Would have been nice if it was textured as well. But looking at the rest of the figure here, a couple of gripes that I have. There are some spots where it's glossy and some that are matte, like specifically in the chest area. But looking at it, you can see that there are some glossy parts in the back here, mostly the back. But when you get in the chest, it's just matte, this kind of matte look, matte black. But the rest of the figure is kind of glossy, which is nice. It's just that chest area is kind of annoying. But looking at the hinges here, you can see they actually sculpted some of the hinge parts, like in the back of the leg, which I'll show in a little bit. You can see there's not a lot of paint details, but there's a lot of texturing details. You can see that little sculpting detail just a little bit in the back of the leg here on the hinges. And looking at the feet here, which look kind of weird. I wish they were a little bit thicker, because they do look thin on this big, huge body. And you can see no peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Now for Venom's articulation, the head is on a double ball joint, so it does rotate all the way around. It can bend up that far, which is quite disappointing, but it can bend down quite a bit like so, which is okay. Now with that double ball joint, you get some side to side movement, a little tilty shifty head movement right there. No forward and back movement whatsoever, but the arms do rotate all the way around. They bend outward that far at 90 degrees. You can push it a little further, but my arm here tends to pop off, which is quite disappointing. But you can see he also has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows right there. You get great range. Hands here are on hinges, the usual rotation and up and down movement right there. Now the torso here is where it gets interesting because you get some nice range. So you get a ball joint at the torso or the chest area, and you also get an ab crunch right there. You get more range right there, which looks very nice. And same thing, you get a ball joint bending back, and with that ab crunch you get even more range, which does look very nice as well. Also you get some side to side movement right there and 360-degree rotation at the chest. Now the legs here do kick forward that far, which kicks forward just a little over 90 degrees, which is very nice. So he can sit down like so, and his legs can move back quite a bit. He also has a upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees right there. Get some nice bend, and his feet here are on hinges, so they bend down that far, which is great. Up, not that much. I wish he bended a little more for some stability in some certain poses. And he also has the ankle pivot, and the legs move outward that far. Almost could do the splits, and doing the ankle pivot test. Should be no problem. He is good to go. So yeah, that is it guys. Hope you guys like it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the bell to be notified when I upload a new video. Now for a movie Venom figure, I mean they nailed it out of the park with this one with the likeness and the body mold. I think this is a new body mold that they use, and it just looks amazing. The sculpting is amazing. You get texturing details throughout. Even though it's kind of a black and white figure, you get some bluish gray vein details in the chest and the back, also a little bit on the forearms and the hands. But other than that, the paint job is okay, because in some areas where it is matte, but in some areas it is also glossy, which is quite disappointing. It would have been nice if it was all glossy. I don't know, that could just be a QC control with mine. But if you find this guy, go ahead, pick him up, or pick two up if you want to make a custom, because I've seen a lot of customizers out there make this a comic book Venom, which I think looks very cool as well. But other than that, he is a great movie Venom figure, and I can't wait to see what he does with Tom Holland's Spider-Man and get that iconic Venom logo on this body or this look for this Venom character, because there's no Venom logo, but hopefully in the future we get to see that happen. But yeah, that is it guys. Hope you guys like it. Arolf Morris. This is signing out. Peace.